Hi guys, welcome again to my YouTube channel, and thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the likes, subscription and comments. Thank you so much. May God bless you. So yeah, today I was just sitting and I was just thinking about the difference. I would say, is it difference, or don't misquote me or don't think anything as well. I'm just sharing my ideas. So I was thinking of difference between Africa marriage and Africa white marriage. And okay, I have never been married by an African. I was never married by an African. So this is my first marriage, being married by a white man. But at least my parents were Africans, both. And also, you see, as the people before me, like my grandparents, and I have also my aunties and all that. So we have also been, I have stayed in an environment where there's African marriage. And I understand the difference between Africa marriage and also between the an-African and white marriage. And this one applies to in the side of the Africa white marriage applies to where the lady is getting or is being married by a white man. I don't know about a man marrying a white man. Maybe it's different, but now let me talk my part. Now, here is where the difference is. Don't mind my look, eh? Here is where the difference. Don't mind my hair also. Guys, as of the salons in Germany, they are very expensive, so I make my own hair. And since I'm just at home these days, I don't have a job or something. I decided to just go with these lines. They need to be repaired, so I'll be repairing them, or maybe I just open them and comb the hair. So don't mind my hair. For now, it's like that. The most important, I'm satisfied with the way it is, and my husband has. Anyway, let us leave that one alone. Now, here is the problem. For the African marriage or African relationship, there is no 50-50. Not 50-50. So at least the man it's everything. I'm not complaining. Please watch the video to the end before you start judging. Don't judge. So you find that in Africa, and it's the culture, you cannot blame us. In Africa, the husband is everything, except maybe nowadays things have changed. But at least where we have grown, or how I was brought up, it was like, father, I need this or this, and you know, the husband is everything. And I would say also in Africa, if you have a good job, and let's say you are getting like 100,000 Kenyan shillings. Now I'm talking about Kenya because that's where I come from. Let's say you are getting 100 Kenyan shillings, 100,000 Kenyan shillings. That money, it's a lot. First, it depends also of where you are staying, the location, and how much you are paying the rent, or maybe if you have your own house. And also depends the distance from your place of home to your working place. How much do you pay for the transport and all that? But at least the person who is getting 100,000 Kenyan shillings, that person has a good salary. Maybe 50,000 also, as I said, it depends how much your rent is, and the transport and everything is involved in between, or maybe if you have your own business. So you find out the African, the man is everything. The man will provide for the rent, the man will provide for everything. And so like that, maybe the lady may chip in a little. It's not a must also. Now, coming back to African white marriage, like a wife and her husband. The husband from the it's a white and so on. I'm not saying that you have to share 50-50 or you share 50-50. It depends also who has married you and where you are. But here is what the problem is. Even if you try to squeeze yourself like I'm not going to give out, the life in Europe, I'm talking in Europe and specifically in Germany because that is where I am, it's very expensive. You are like, I'm not going to give you anything. My money is my money, your money is our money, and this is how, I don't know where is this light coming from, where is this reflection coming? And you're like, your money is our money, mine is my own, and please don't ask for anything. This person may not ask you for anything, but you willingly, you may just say, let me go and buy something just to support, because my friends, now if you are earning that 100,000 let's say Kenyan shillings, which is 1,000 euro in German, it's not even enough for the rent. This also depends where you are living, depends the side of the country where you're living. There are some places where maybe the rent is very little, so it's not just little, but even if you find like you are paying let's say 700, also the house, the smaller the rent, the smaller the house, the bigger the rent, the bigger the house, and also maybe sometimes the bigger the rent, maybe the house is situated in a good place, like inside, a little bit inside the towns and so on. So you find like even if you try to be stingy with your money, let me use that word, not in a bad way, like you say, I'm not going to give, I come from Africa, I'm an African lady, and for me, I know that the man is the head of the family. Okay, he's the head of the family, but these heads of the families also sometimes they need to be helped. So if you have that mentality of you being in Africa, and like my husband has also to give me some pocket money, even if I have my own, that is mine, and I need to buy this, I need to buy this, and I am expecting this amount from my man, then it's I guess the marriages will not work. It's not going to work, because you're like you're pressing this man, and maybe they are only depending on the salary. It's only the salary and the salary alone. So when you get it at the end of the month, you have to calculate it very well. You need to calculate paying the house rent. You need to think of how you're going to buy food. Maybe you have some loans there and there, because here you can, the people who buy something like cash, maybe those are very rich, those are people who are born inside money, or maybe they have worked hard, they started working very early, as those things like those. But something like, let's say a phone costing 1,000 and above, some people get it on credit. You find like you cannot buy a TV cash, you cannot buy a computer cash, you cannot buy a car cash. Of course, there are people who have money, so it's just mixed up. You find there are people who have been living good. For them, 10,000 it's nothing. They can just give it out, and they feel they have not given out anything. But there is that one that even that 10,000 to smell on the account is going to be difficult. So you see, you find like if you have that little mentality, not little mentality, but the African mentality, if you come here, you may not survive in your marriage, because hey, you're like, my friend, what are we going to do? What is it? I need to travel back to Kenya, and you don't have the transport. You're thinking like it's 1,000 euro you need to go back to Kenya, and you cannot go empty-handed. You need some pocket, because once you get there, my friend, everybody else doesn't have money, so you have to be at least well loaded. And for you also, it's not like they don't have money. For you also, you will also feel good, like, yes, I have arrived, so it's me, let me take over for the time I'm going to be here. I'm going to provide until you come back home, you come back to the country. So what a life you at least we share what we have experienced. Because me, like, before I had come here, I was like, that is paradise. Hey, you're going to be, oh, it's like this, and we have so many imaginations. But then when you come here, you find like it's the opposite. Anyway, guys, stay tuned. Please subscribe to my channel and support me with those subscription. Don't skip the ads, just support me. Thank you.